Hello and welcome to Neighborhood Update. I always enjoy when I have the opportunity to chat with young adults. Millennials, or Gen Zs as they're called, is the case today. Generation Z, Gen Z are between the ages of 15 and late 20s. They are characterized by digital fluency. They are the first generation to grow up with computers and smartphones. Strong focus on social justice and equity. Sustainability and mental health is important to them. They are practical, adaptable, resourceful, and have an entrepreneurial spirit. They are creating or blazing their own trails, we can say. All of these are great characteristics, and for me, that is probably why I am impressed and inspired by many of our young adults, two of which I will be presenting to you today. Welcome, Carter Barbosa and Keyanna Jones. Welcome to Neighborhood Update.
Thank you.
The Interns.
Yes.
You are both going into your sophomore year in September. Carter, you, Harvard University, and Keyanna, Columbia University. So with that, let's dive in. First of all, congrats for completing year one in two of our world's finest universities. That makes a statement.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
That makes a statement on the two of you. I've seen you out and about, cell phones in hand, displaying all of the social graces at events. And I must say it did pique my attention. I wanted to know who are these two amazing young people. And we were introduced through an email. And I learned that you were interns for the City of New Bedford. And that's why you're here today. So with that, what has the experience been like for you? Keyanna, ladies first, why don't you jump in?
Yes, of course. So I am originally from New Bedford. I grew up in New Bedford. In 2024, Carter and I graduated from New Bedford High School. So having the incredible opportunity to come back and intern for the city and City Hall has been like nothing short of incredible. We're both community outreach interns, so it's a lot of fun to really just be going to a whole bunch of different events and spreading the word, spreading the message. But I can't rave enough about how fun it is for me, but also like getting this professional experience. So
you and Carter, you jump in and tell me your perspective on what it's been like for you.
Yeah, so I think we've shared kind of an amazing experience together. We love it here. I, like she mentioned, graduated from New Bedford High 2024. All my life I've been super involved in New Bedford. I live in Dartmouth now, but all the sports, all my education, everything happened in New Bedford. And like Keyanna said, we've had a lot of fun going to different events, but the closeness that we have to New Bedford and the relationship we have to New Bedford, living here, growing up here, makes the work that we do, makes us all the more passionate about the work that we do. And we're having fun.
It does, and I'm sure you see the city now in a different light.
Yeah.
Is that not true?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Because many your age, shall I say there are some your age who might think, oh, there's nothing going on in New Bedford.
Right.
You know, I want to be somewhere else where that's more happening or whatever. And I say the same thing, being involved or working for the Department of Community Services, I see so many aspects of this city, which to me is a real gem. And so how has it changed your perspective on this city?
Yeah, so I think for the both of us, we've kind of discussed this already, but going away to college, me in Cambridge, her in New York, and then missing New Bedford so much and coming back, you see the beauty in New Bedford. Don't get me wrong, I think it's great to go away for a little bit of time.
Absolutely.
But to come back and see how New Bedford has changed, how it's grown, You see the value in something that you don't really see when you're living in it, but you go away and you start to appreciate it when you come back. And I think working for the city, we really got to see how much is going on that we just didn't know about before. So I think that if people really just knew what was going on in the city, because there really is so much, their perspectives would change.
Absolutely. And so you're also seeing the promise for the future. You're seeing the growth. You're seeing where we're headed.
Yes.
Because you're out there, you're seeing projects that are going on.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're going to talk about today, because I know that you are doing community outreach. I was recently at a neighborhood meeting and saw you presenting. And did a wonderful job on that, I might add.
Thank
and
you.
I know you did bring some photos to you with you today.
Yeah.
Some of the outreach you're doing is on the Morse drill site. There's been many community meetings on that. And what have you learned, and what, if you had the opportunity, which you do, to communicate with the community, the city today, what would you like to say about the Morse drill site?
Yes, definitely. So what have I learned? It feels like everything. I've definitely driven past the site so many times, and I just had no clue. I thought it was just 2 fields. It's about 3 acres. And for those of you who don't know, it's down Wing Street, Pleasant Street, and Purchase Street, not too far from Monty's Park. So learning that, I believe it was in the late 1800s and early 1900s, that there was the Morse cutting tool site. And what I know now is that the city got an $800,000 grant to make sure that the site is good for development. And we recently, in early March, and I think later this month or early August, we're looking forward to doing another round of testing just to make sure everything that was good. But the site, from our first round of testing, we know that it's free of PCBs and it's at lower standards than what the state requires. So we're just doing a second round just to kind of confirm that and make sure that the results are still the same. So my job really has largely been trying to promote the survey. What we really want is constituents and for New Bedford residents to complete the survey, because what's the point in developing something that's not going to at all be used? We want something that's going to be usable and helpful for residents. So whether that's a senior center or a daycare or anything along those lines, we really want to just hear from residents. And I think it's also good for them to fill out the survey and play a role in their government and in their community. It's really important to stay involved and stay informed. So just to fill this out, and then once development starts, and eventually we'll have a building there. So it's nice to be like, wow, like I really did play a role in this, and my voice really matters. And I think that's so important, just being aware of what's going on, but more than that, but being involved and playing a role in your community.
Absolutely. It's empowering.
Yes, definitely.
Is what it is. You can live in a neighborhood, in a community, or you can be an active participant in what's going within that community to make it more safe or more beautiful. Yeah. Carter, what say you about that?
Yeah, I think the community input is huge, and I think that creates a really strong bond to where you live. You're not just living in this place and it's like, oh, yeah, I live here, but it doesn't really mean anything to me. When you have a role in building the community, creating new things in the community, you get a longing to take care of it, to protect it, to make sure it's clean, it's safe for everyone in the neighborhood. You really want to be a part of it, and you want to show it off to everyone and keep it as nice as you can.
And there's another part of that whole education, or the Morse drill site that you're discovering. I love hearing you speaking about PCBs. Most residents aren't thinking about all of that, or may not know what a PCB is. But the other side of the story, and I did tell both of you that I was going to introduce you to Mr. John Buddy Andre, is environmental justice. Yeah. I started the show by saying that is also something with Gen Z's sustainability. That is something that is very important to your generation, and his life work has been around environmental justice. So what environmental justice says is the injustice is that these corporations have come into our communities and polluted our land. The justice is in repurposing the land, doing the cleanup, and then putting something in that community that the residents benefit from. And it may be a job that they can now walk to work. It may be businesses that create more jobs within that neighborhood. So it's all part of that. And too often I hear the side of it from people that say, oh, they're building this in our neighborhood and nobody talked to us.
Right.
So it's important to do the outreach that you're doing, and to those of you that are watching today, it's also important for you to show up and to come to these meetings as well. You have something else, Carter, on the table. You want to talk about that?
Yes.
You've been doing some outreach around that?
Yes, absolutely. So this is NB Connected. It's the city's new app. They're relaunching a new app.
We're finally there.
Yes. So before, I believe there was an app called See Click Fix. I might have been too young to be playing around with it, but this is basically the new revamped version. So much you can do on this app. You can pay for parking, apply for city jobs, pay your bills. But the coolest feature that we're really trying to promote to everybody is the service requests that you can make. So whether it be a pothole, whether it be graffiti, a street light that's out, missed trash pickup, anything like that, you can report it on the site, and you'll get a notification when it's been processed, received, and assigned as a work order, as well as when it's been completed, and it goes straight to DPI's database, and it's much more efficient that way rather than someone having to call City Hall and then the person at City Hall transferring you to DPI or transferring that service request to DPI. This is just much more efficient. And it also gives residents the power to see something done in the city.
Yes.
It gives them this hope that the city is actually doing something, because I think that a lot of times there is this narrative that what is the city doing? You know what I'm saying? But this gives residents the opportunity to see exactly what the city is doing, that we do listen, and we want to make this community a much better place, a safer place, a cleaner place.
Absolutely. And you can follow it. You can follow the progress on it. You can upload the photos.
Right.
It really is. It's a valuable tool. It's on my phone.
Yeah.
And you've heard, I know you've been to neighborhood meetings, so you've heard people say, we've been talking about this issue. How does it when's it going to get resolved? Yeah. Well, that's a way to be sure. And to the employees and to the department heads, when you know that something is out there and the public sees it, there's more accountability.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right? Because there's more people that are going to say, we've been watching that, and that's been out there for a long time. So any way you look at it, it's a really good feature. And it just shows how we need to consistently become more technical.
Yeah.
That's the world that you live in. Government usually moves slow, but when you see something like that, that definitely is progress.
Can I just add something real quick? So
Sure.
I didn't get to mention this, but the average turnaround time is around 6 days for each request too. So it's not going to be sitting there for weeks, and you're going to be like, what is the city doing, right?
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, residents? The average turnaround time is 6 days. When have you called in via the phone to get something resolved that quickly? So that's the way to go. NB Connect. And you just go to apps, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And
Search
just
it on the App
download
Store,
that.
yeah. And
Yeah.
graffiti is actually even quicker. There's a 24-hour policy that the mayor's instituted. So that's, you report it one day, it's gone the next.
Yes, this Mayor Mitchell does not like graffiti. And the city is on top of that, because I have not seen, our office, sometimes we would call on it if we're driving around and seeing it, and I have not seen it to the extent we used to see it. So I want to go back to, an internship can be either very good or it can be not so good. really dependent on the individual, right? But that really is true to most of life experiences. You get in it what you get out of it, what you put into it.
Right.
So I jotted down jotted down some pros on internship, and as we talk about those, I want to kind of tie it into your own actual experience. Well, first of all, you get hands-on experience.
Yep.
And I think with the more Strill site and certainly the information that you received, I don't know what your majors are. Keyanna, what is your major?
Yes, I'm majoring in political science and statistics.
Okay. And Carter?
I'm majoring in government with a secondary in sociology.
Okay. So in terms of hands-on experience and the majors that you are in, what stands out in your mind in terms of real experience that you've received that's of value to you?
Yes, I think starting with the obvious, I think working with a municipal government has given incredible opportunities and seeing like the inner works. We've gotten the opportunity to tour several departments, whether that's the Department of Public Infrastructure or DFFM. There's been so many incredible opportunities to see what everybody is working on and what they're in charge of and how that works and the processes of different things. And I think another opportunity is funding. I know the city recently had their budget hearing, and just being in the room with when these conversations are having, the impact of funding and the role of funding on these sites and how much it has to do with what's able to happen. So I think just all of these different conversations, whether it's more tied to political science and government or tied to money and finances, I think on both sides I've definitely gotten to see a wide variety that's tied back to my education.
Career exploration. Oftentimes, by being out there in the field, you may be focused on a certain career, but through the internship, you might discover this is an area or this is something that really interests me. Has that happened to either of you?
I think for me, what's really piqued my interest, what I really love about this internship is the heart of public service that is government, right? The government works for the people. It works to create a more stable, safer environment, community for the people. And I think the opportunity that we've had to go out and connect with so many community residents and really try to get their input and make their lives as great as possible, I think that's what's been my favorite part of this internship and where I think I see myself, like why I chose government to study and why I think that's a career I might pursue.
Awesome. It is. I will attest to. It is hugely rewarding. You see a lot of great things. You see things that might hurt your heart, aren't so great, but in that is the opportunity to make a difference, and that's where the rewards come in.
Yeah.
Bridging the gap between academic learning, what you're learning in the classroom, and practical experience is huge also. Do you want to touch upon that?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, I think that what we're learning in school is great, but I don't think it can compare to this hands-on experience that we're getting. I'm not saying that, it's not extremely important. Obviously it is, and I think we're going to learn things that are definitely useful.
Absolutely.
But I think it just doesn't compare to this hands-on experience of talking to residents of how do we fix this problem or this issue that came up that we were never taught in school. We were never prepared for this, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it may feel like you're getting thrown into the fire and you kind of just have to think on your feet, collaborate with a colleague or not, to just figure it out, you know what I'm saying?
And I think for your generation, Gen Z, and what your needs are, you have been studied because you work differently, you learn differently, you eat differently, you live differently.
Yeah.
And so I think, Carter, what you're saying is we need more of this. This needs to
Absolutely.
be integrated more within education.
Absolutely.
Because it gives us more fullness.
Yeah.
It keeps us more interested.
Yeah.
I believe. And to what you said, I think every student, I remember saying that, like, why am I, in statistics and economics, like, why am I learning this? I'm never, going to use this. But the practical experience when you are in your careers, the bell goes off. Oh, this is what they meant when they were talking about this.
Yeah.
So that's another value of the internship. Boosting employability. Being an intern, you are actually an employee.
Yeah.
So you, throughout this summer, through this internship, you've developed and enhanced some real skills that are marketable. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that right away we kind of felt like we were an employee. We were told during our orientation that yes, you guys are interns, but you're staff now. And I think that we were told that right from the beginning, and I think we felt that right at the start of our internship. We were already giving really important work. They really wanted our input, and they trusted us with what they were assigning us to do. It wasn't go make us a copy, or why don't you go print some stuff. You know what I'm saying? The like typical internship stereotypes.
That's why I
whatnot.
said it could be good or it could be bad.
Right.
And there are some departments, there are some people that do not want interns because they feel like it's more work. They feel like you've got to just tell them what to do every moment. Because, as I said earlier, depending on the individual, with some, if you're not a go-getter, if you're not motivated, some might just want to sit there with their phone and it's not of value to the employer, and it's really not a value to the intern if you're just there killing time and you're not getting anything out of it. So I think the two of you came in this experience, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what I see in you is you came in this, I'm going to make the most of this. This seems like a great opportunity, and I'm going to get all that I can get out of it.
Absolutely.
Is that true?
Definitely.
Right. And I think, like we said, this community means so much to us, and being able to get this opportunity to work for the city and give back and try to make the community as great as it is. I think that passion, we came in having that passion, and we wanted to make the most out of this opportunity, like you said, and make the city the greatest it can be.
Definitely.
That-
I would even go as far to say that I think we already came into it with an incredible network and knowing different strong community members, but even beyond that, I think being in this role and in the capacity of working for the city, I think that it is probably duplicated in the time that I've been home for the summer. I would say that we kind of already were familiar with certain community events. We were just talking before this how it is Cape Verdean Recognition Month. So Corey and I were already familiar with the Cape Verdean Parade, and we were there, and just different events like that. And it's so important. Like after this, we're going to the New Bedford Farmers Market that happens every Thursday at Buttonwood Park. So we already are familiar, but I think with who we've known and the network that we already have, everybody has been super incredible and welcoming to us in this position, and has also been like, oh my God, what would be super great if you reach out to this organization or another organization. So I think being put in contact with others has been super incredible, and even being from New Bedford, I think there's so much that I've learned, and I can't even explain how helpful it's been and how much my knowledge has grown, and even of the inner workings of the city that I would have never even guessed. Even being a lifelong resident, what is going on in the city beyond being a resident or a community member, but what's going on behind the scenes. So.
And how all the departments work collaboratively together.
Yes.
You probably have noticed when a resident or an organization is planning an event, a special event, that form goes to all departments.
Yep.
Every department looks it over, has a piece of it. So it takes all of that to plan an event. You, Keyanna, touched upon another value of internship. You just spoke on it. Building a professional network. Huge. Whatever your career, whatever you will go into, you already have started that professional network.
Absolutely.
If you were applying for any job right now, there are so many people that you could get a letter of recommendation from on a high level, from the mayor to state representatives. It's a great resource to have that in your toolbox.
Without a doubt, yeah.
And so you will continue to build upon that as you seek out these opportunities. Confidence and self-discovery. Speak on that. Did you already see yourself as a confident, take charge sort of person? Did you discover anything different or more about yourself during this experience?
Yeah, I think, I don't know about Keyanna, but I think for me, coming in as an intern in the mayor's office, city government, it was a little daunting. I don't know. This is just all new to me. I don't really know the inner workings of things. I don't really know too much about it. But the mayor's office has been so welcoming. Everyone's amazing. Everyone in City Hall and city government has been amazing. So welcoming, so happy to have us. And I think that my confidence has built over time. And I think that the longer I've been there, the more comfortable I've been, and the more I'm willing to kind of take charge, like you said. Like once I get my foothold and everything, I'm confident in this event, and this is what we're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna reach as many people as we need to. So yeah, I think it's been a gradual confidence booster learning experience.
And many Gen Z, they spend so much time communicating through social media that what my generation has observed is that there are, with some of them, the lack of social graces, the lack of being able to engage in conversation. Yeah. They really don't like too much of that. So when you came into this experience, was there a part of you that thought, oh, I'm going to be in the mayor's office, this might be a little too formal, or there might be a higher expectation of me, how I have to act and communicate? Did you think that initially, and did you find, well, you already said, it was relaxed, it was comfortable for you?
Definitely professional, but super welcoming, comfortable. Like I said, everyone's professional. The professionalism doesn't really, it's not professionalism or a relaxed, comfortable environment. It's both, and I really appreciate that.
And obviously, the last two, financial benefit, I don't know if this was a paid internship, was it?
Yeah, so.
Well, that's always great.
For both of us, not the city isn't necessarily paying us, but our schools funded this internship.
That is awesome. And so you also get academic credit as well? Do you get academic credit?
I don't.
I am not getting academic credit, but I think the internship has been an incredible opportunity to learn and grow, and I think that's definitely satisfying to have.
And I knew this was going to happen, we're almost out of time, and I want so much more. Do you feel there should be more internships? Do you feel that more young people should be able to experience this?
I think without a doubt. I think it's a great opportunity for, young people are the future of this country, are the future of this city. So why are we not going to involve them and integrate them into jobs like city government? They are the future, so why not get them involved young?
You said it, Carter, and that's a great note to add on. You are the future, and may I say that the future looks bright in this conversation that I'm having with the two of you.
Thank you so much.
And I just know that we have many, as part of government, we have many boards and commissions, and I can tell you right now, as soon as you get out of college, you're going to be recruited. Everybody's going to want you to be on boards and commissions, but always remember, this is your city.
Yeah.
You know, this is your city, and it takes all of us. It takes all of us to have passion and commitment, bring in our skills to make this city great. So with that, I wish you both another great, successful year. And I'm going to be following the both of you, expecting great things from you.
Yes.
So thank you for being here today, and do enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
It's
You
been
are so
incredible.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed today's program and conversation, and we will see you next time on Neighborhood Update.